And let's talk about Belcalis Almanzar out here suing Miss Latasha Kebe because Miss Thing can't keep a goddamn mouth closed when it comes to anything pertaining to her and Offset. And that is one of the reasons why she is coming for her, because she was out here talking about off sheets gambling. And she was like, ma'am, in the contract it says you cannot mention anything about anybody in my cipher. Meaning you can't talk about me and you can't talk about my husband, who she is technically still married to, even though she was out here messing with Stephon Diggs. And speaking of Stephon Diggs, I guess congratulations to him because he won that case against that chef that accused him of assault, whatever the case was. It came out that apparently they was hunching. So I don't even know if, I mean, while before he even hired her, I don't know if that was during his relationship with Cardi, but we did see that he had a whole bunch of kids while Cardi was pregnant with her fourth child and her one with him. And so he out here being messy, laying alone and spreading it wide. And then it was a story. I think they dropped the case, or she lost the case, and he won the case because there was allegedly, according to her, he wanted to settle this whole situation with $100,000. I wouldn't have. I'd be like, no, bitch, we going to court because what you're not going to do is run up out here and. But this is according to her. That's not what he says. So $100,000 to make it all go away. Her lawyers apparently hit him up and said, no, we want $5.5 million. That was brought up in the case in the courtroom with her. She was up in there, shot, eyes popped out of her head like Wendy Williams and stuttering and all that other mess. And she got caught out there. And so now your own attorneys are trying to pull a blackmail fast one where they want to get 5.5, damn near $6 million out of somebody just to make a story go away when I was allegedly going to give you $100,000. You're a fool. So, and they should have had that conversation before they got the gotcha moment. Stefan's attorney got the gotcha on her ass. So now she out here in the weeds going to have to figure out how she going to have to pay them lawyer fees because I know she ain't got it, allegedly. So in this, speaking of people who allegedly ain't got it, because she claims she don't got it, but you better find it, sis. And I don't mean just going around trying to do GoFundMe's or begging Nicki Minaj to throw a little money in your direction so that way you can help pay these lawyer, or not the lawyer fee, but pay Cardi. And I said this from the beginning. If someone's going to continuously harass somebody, even though in a case they said you ain't supposed to be talking about, why don't you take her damn channel? You still letting her rock over here with this foolishness. Because all she do is pay people to do interviews and lie, which in so many ways she makes a lot of, she makes a lot of us look bad. Not me, because I do what I do over here. I speak on the stories at hand. I give my opinion and I move on to the next thing. I'm not running around here trying to get a viral moment where I need to make things up. I need to hit up some person who allegedly has sour grapes with a certain celebrity because you're in loyalty to a different celebrity and they making up lies and all this other stuff, and then you go viral and you got a lot of people watching your channel, and yeah, that's all cute, whatever, because the winos are sipping and eating it up and blah 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 blah. But now all you end up stuck with is a lawsuit while they sit up there watching all of this shenanigans unfold. But you stuck with a lawsuit, you getting sued, you having to pay all this money. Is it worth it? Just wondering. But apparently it must be because you keep poking the bear. And Cardi said, I'm tired. She getting tired of your shit. And so now she taking her ass back to court. So Cardi B is asking a bankruptcy court to step in after she claims Tasha broke their settlement agreement while discussing Offset's alleged gambling debt. Now, according to a new court filing submitted on Monday, May 4th, and reviewed by Complex, the rapper, born, now you want me to say her name again, Belcalis Marlenis Almanzar, claimed the blogger, real name Latasha. Now I see why she hates trans people. Her name is Transrena. Now I see why you don't like the trans girls. So I'm gonna start calling her Transrena. Um, emphasis on the trans. Has continued to violate a non-disparagement clause, which forbids her from saying negative things about Cardi, her family, either directly or indirectly. The Am I the Drama rapper is specifically pointing to a recent live stream where Tasha mocked Cardi's estranged husband, Offset, and made insinuations about his alleged gambling issues. Now saying Offset works at the casino. He's down there 5 times a week, clocking in. Some days he works first, second, and third shifts, and he uses everyone else's money to gamble with. This is what she said, per the document. She said, I was told, and that is literally what she said because I seen the clip. So they was like they took everything word for word and put it in the document. So she said, I was told he would probably still be in a certain relationship if he wasn't gambling away all that money, which we talked about that the last time. And that's implying that he would still be in a relationship with Cardi and probably would be gambling away her money because we know, quiet as is kept, Cardi is the breadwinner. Cardi is worth, I would say, about $100 million. Offset ain't worth that kind of money. I mean, nobody's really checking for him like that. But Cardi was always the bigger artist because she's getting on the endorsement deal. She's got a lot of people who like working with her. So the clause was also part of a deal tied to Tasha's bankruptcy case and a previous defamation judgment in which she was offered to pay Cardi nearly $4 million in 2022. And now Cardi's previously agreed to pause collecting that money only because Tasha accepted the restriction on disparaging comments. Well, she agreed to it, and then a couple of days later, it's like she probably her mind went bad and she forgot. Well, sometimes you got to remind these hoes. Yeah, but you agree. Now you're gonna go renege on the agreement. But that's why I don't understand why you continue to do this stuff because your fans aren't gonna help bail you out of this mess. They're entertained by the shenanigans. So now her latest filing argues that the court made it clear she had to comply with the terms of her bankruptcy plan, and that failure to do so could lead in a case being dismissed. Her legal team also said that the purpose of the agreement was simple to help ensure payment of the judgment and the non disparagement clause serving as a key condition. Despite this, Cardi claims Tasha has continued making statements that violate the agreement. Even when Cardi is not mentioned by name, she alleges that Tasha uses indirect references in coded language and does about her and her family and online content that draws attention and generates revenue. To further demonstrate bad faith, Cardi alleges that Tasha falsely claimed to the court that she was current on all her bankruptcy plan payments, which she was, when in reality she was late and failed to submit a required quarterly operating report on time. She also pointed out that last month Tasha publicly told her viewers that she's not bound to a non-disclosure agreement at all, which we know is a lie. And then they sent her a cease and desist, and she said that I'm gonna wipe my ass with it. So she said that on the camera. Receipts don't lie. When y'all say things, people can go back to the source of the situation and bring it up when y'all have when your mind go back. When you have your little case of early dementia and you start forgetting shit. We got the internet that'll remind you of what you said on this day and date. Me at being a Virgo, we keep everything up here. I can remember, I can pull out a receipt from 3 years ago on the day and the date and say, this is what you said. We hold grudges over here. And when we need to pull out a receipt, we'll pull it out. So in response, Cardi's team tells the court that despite Tasha's delusional belief that the law does not apply to her, willful violations of court orders must have consequences. Per the document, it said Tasha has previously argued that the clause violates her First Amendment rights and restricts her free speech. She also claimed that removing posts after being warned shows she is making a good faith effort to comply. And then I saw this post that T.S. Madison, since we talking about trans people and people that Tasha don't like, T.S. Madison posted this tweet where it said Tasha had lost another lawsuit against Cardi B with a judge ordering her to pay the full $4 million awarded to Cardi in 2023. The ruling also includes a restraining order completely banning the blogger from speaking about Cardi or anything connected to the A-list rapper. So I guess you can't even talk about Stephon or any person she gets in a relationship with. So now they said Cardi disputes that by saying the issue was not free speech, but enforcement of a private agreement that was voluntarily entered into. She also accuses Tasha of improperly relying on a specific provision that only grants a 48-hour window to delete any violating content if they involve Cardi's family members who are unknown to the general public. Through her legal counsel, the rapper argues that deleting posts after they have already been viewed and monetized does not undo the violation, but instead reflects an ongoing pattern of conduct that still benefits the blogger. Cardi also raised concerns about Tasha's legal filings, accusing her attorneys of citing a fabricated case of misrepresenting real legal decisions in their arguments. Specifically, she notes that the hallucinated case is named Doe v. Gonzalez, while also claiming Tasha's legal legal team used a fake quote attributed to the real case, McGregor versus Cherico. Now, saying using fake and hallucinated cases casts a shadow on invalidity. I don't know why I couldn't say that word, on the judicial process that causes the public to question the commitment to truth and justice, which is particularly odious. Lawyers who fail to check the accuracy of the information in their beliefs should be held accountable, argued Cardi's lawyers in the following. They continue to say Ms. Almanzar does not presume to know whether this citation was generated, though through AI assistance without adequate verification, copied from a secondary source, or introduced through some other mechanism. Now, her legal team is asking the court to order Tasha K to delete all prohibited content, schedule a hearing to award attorney's fees, establish monetary sanctions for any future violations, and issue sanctions against the blogger and her counsel for submitting fake legal citations. So I just don't understand, girl. If somebody ever came at me, a celebrity, and I was talking about a bunch of stuff, if I would have did what Tasha did, and I got hit with a cease and desist, whatever case, and people's like, I wish you would just stop talking about me, whatever case. Okay, you got it. It ain't worth it. I'm like, there's so many other things I could be talking about. There's so many other things I can give commentary on. It's not worth it that, but I just, to risk having to lose what I built because of my damn ego. And that's what it is. This is the whole ego show. She's mad because Cardi got one over on her and she can't take it. But if it's worth you continuing to try to double down on the bullshit just so that way you can prove, yeah, I'm that bitch or whatever the case is. But all it is you're still winding up down this rabbit hole of I'm being dragged back to court. I'm gonna get sued again. Now I gotta pay the full amount. Like when is the bottom of this situation? Just let it go. You can't talk about Cardi. Okay, there's other people you could be out there talking about, but when a lot of you bloggers pigeonhole yourselves to only talking about a certain niche of celebrities, y'all stuck you backed yourself into a corner. Me, I talk about everything and everybody on this show, which is why I'm able to continue to progress and move on with doing what I'm doing. But when you picture yourself to only talk about a small niche of people and a small demographic, yeah, you get a lot of hits, but now you pigeonholed yourself. So when you try to evolve, you can't do that. But good luck to you, niece, because auntie, because you can't be a niece, you older. So yeah, good luck to you on this mess. But one of these days you're gonna learn, but I just don't. Or maybe she'll never learn because when the ego is doing what it do, they never learn until they just lose everything, and even then she'll still be trying to save face. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story regarding Tasha K out here still being a damn fool and Cardi refusing to take her foot off that lady neck? So whatever your thoughts are on this matter, let me know in the comments down below.